Hello and welcome to another exciting Finance 301 video. In this video, I want to show you how to use your Texas Instruments BA2 Plus calculator to find the yield or the required return on a bond. First thing I'm going to do is to clear out my third row. I'm going to hit second, clear TVM, and since bonds pay interest twice a year, I'm going to hit change my PY to 2. If it's not already set at 2, hit a 2 and then hit enter. Then hit second quick to get out of that. Now I'm going to assume that this bond has a face or maturity value of $1,000 as all corporate bonds do. So I'll punch in 1,000 into FV. I'm going to assume that the bond has a coupon rate of 5%. What this means is that the bond pays an annual interest payment equal to 5% of the face value. Since 5% of $1,000 is $50, that's how much the bond pays each year. But since bonds pay interest twice a year, that means that the bond will pay an interest payment of $25 every 6 months. So I'll put a 25 into payment. Next, what I'm going to do is assume that the maturity of the bond is 15 years. What that means is that the bond will pay the principal or face value of $1,000 15 years from today. So since bonds pay interest twice a year, what I want to know is how many interest payments will I receive until this bond matures in 15 years. So since bonds pay interest twice a year and the maturity is 15 years, I'm going to multiply the 15 times 2, and that tells me that the bond will pay me 30 interest payments before it matures. Now before I can find the bond's yield, I need to know what the price of the bond is. So the price of the bond, I'm going to assume, is $615.69. So I'll punch in a 615.69. Now, since I'm finding a yield or interest rate on this calculator, I have to make sure that that price is a negative number. So to put a negative sign in front of that 615.69, I'm going to hit the plus minus key on the bottom row. So I'll hit that and see the negative sign pops up. Now last, I'm going to hit the PV key to enter that into the present value key. The price always goes into the present value key. And now I'm almost done. Now all I have to do to find the yield is to compute IY. And that tells me that the yield is 10%. That's the required return on this bond. Now let's assume instead of paying $615.69 for the bond, that the bond's price goes up. Well, what then would happen to the yield? Well, let's just see. Let's suppose the bond's price goes up to $700. Put a negative sign in front of that, and then we'll put that into PV. Now let's recompute the yield to see what happened to the yield when the price of the bond went up. So we'll compute IY. And notice that the yield went down from 10% to about 8.6%. So as bond prices rise, bond yields go down, and the reverse is also true.